Hello and welcome to today's healing circle. So, no image today, or at least no of myself, but I'll be putting images up in the video. So, just to save on signal strength and things like that, I am having to use the voice only, and so we'll see how it goes. Each day in Egypt is another test or an experience and an experimentation of how to be and how to move. So let's have a look at today's healing that I've got set up for us. We are using the light code for Pachamama, so Mother Earth. So just take a moment to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in and out, and just center and think about what it is that you would like to work with in this healing session today. What would you like to receive? What would you like to let go of? What would you like to manifest? What would you like to heal? What do you want to let go of? As always, you can spend as much time here as you need. When you are ready, open your eyes and allow your eyes to easily and gently rest upon the light code. Perhaps your eyes are attracted to a part of the code. Perhaps your eyes are tracing the line like it's a labyrinth for your eyes. Just allow it all to flow as it does. Good. Next, we're going to look at our setup that we have for today. So I have the Book of Dwarves with me, my favorite deck as you know, and I work with a die, so we've got an 8-sided die that I throw as I'm concentrating or focusing on the light code that we're working with, and that gives us the cards that we are seeing today. So I'm going to combine with these cards the Wands of Horus, and then I'll be guided to see how we progress from there. So let's have a look at our spread. So the first card, first of all, we've got the pyramid shape as always. The top one is the spiritual. The second two cards are the mental body. The third cards down is the emotional. And the last one down is the physical body. Our first card that we have is our Sar. Now our Sar is Osiris. He is the god of the underworld and god of resurrection and also death. So the first card gives us sort of an overview of what our healing session is about today. So this is about the death of something that no longer serves. This could be an aspect of your life, it could be a way of how you've been living life, it could be an actual object, a relationship, or anything that we can have and then lose. This is a necessary loss. So this is letting go of attachments. Could also be of just letting go of expectations so that you don't expect something. Let go of those expectations. But as we let go and as we release these attachments, it opens us up for revelation. So a way to see things from a different perspective or from a different level. Next card down, which is your thought patterns and how you used to think and how it's still affecting you, is Hapi. And Hapi is the god of the Nile. Usually in depictions of Hapi, you will actually see the two beings as we've got here on the card, and they're pulling on these knots. So they're actually unifying and bringing together. So it's about the joining of opposites, bringing harmony where there's opposition. It could also indicate that there's really nice positive energies coming in, and a sense of renewal. Now, if I remember correctly, we had Happy in a previous reading as well, and I can't remember the placement. I'll have to go back and find that. But this is our past thoughts. So it means that this Happy card would refer back to our previous reading that we had, where we've already done this joining and bringing together of the harmony and the oppositions and all of those things, so that we can get into a nice fluid energy. And this is leading us into the next one, which is our future guidance, which is Shesmu 42. Now, Shesmu 42 is the judges. Now, it ties in with our Sar that we've got on top, who is the ultimate judge, because he is the god of the underworld. And so we have these judgments. This could be ourselves judging ourselves, it could be others judging us, it could be we judging others. Depends on what we're working with here. But this is setting our future guidance. And so as we're looking at judge and whatever, I would really say that this is about integrity and being in your integrity and purifying yourself so that you don't get into that judgmental state. Now, judgment is not bad. When we see differences for the first time, that is an immediate spark of judgment. But then we don't want to stay there. We want to then let it go and move on. So if we just combine this with Asari, saying let it go. Looking at our past use of energy on a more emotional level, we have Kemt. Now, Kemt is the Egyptian word for Egypt, so it means the black land, and it is the first land that came out of the void, and so it usually indicates chaos and confusion and things like being all tumultuous and like breaking down and like really moving. So it's sort of a movement out of stagnation and into a form of structure. So this relates to our past emotions. So somewhere in the past we had some chaotic, confusing, disillusioned emotions that is still having an effect on us, and these are what we need to clear. Our bridge card, which is the central card and it represents us in this now moment, is Sokar. And Sokar is our first entry into the Duat, or the underworld. Now you'll notice the Sokar has a bird body with a human head. And so in Egyptian, when we have an animal with a human head, it is the human aspect of us that are transcending into spirit or into a higher frequency, higher dimension. Where when we have a human body with an animal head, you'll see some around here, like Kerhet and Sekhmet. When you have these animal heads on a human body, it means the divinity that's coming down into physicality. So Sokar is saying we are moving from the physicality into a new space, a new energetic space. It could also indicate that we are currently working through a testing time, or that there's a seeding happening here, a new cycle. So we've planted some seeds and we're starting a new cycle. This is a new beginning. So actually a really exciting place to be in. Then our next card, which is our wishes and expectations, is Amsu. Now, Amsu is about rejuvenation and initiation, but as you can see from the image, it's also about sexual pleasure. So this is really about perhaps us stepping into a space where we can fully and wholly enjoy and find pleasure in the human physical body, so that we can rejuvenate ourselves, so we can move into a space of initiation, perhaps stepping into a more sacred space, sacred sexual space like Tantra and things like that. Then moving down to the next card, we have the past actions that are still having influence on us, and here we have Keret. Keret is one of the primordial goddesses, and this is all about secret initiations, or transmission of power in some way, shape or form. So somewhere along the way you would have received some initiations or energetic transmissions or power transmissions or something like that. It could also just indicate all the work that we've been doing over the last year. Can you believe we've been doing this for over a year already? So for the ones who's been here since the beginning. So there's been some initiations, and so this is still having an effect on us. Next we have our ideals and aspirations, and here we have Shy. Shy is saying that we are looking for a turn of luck. We are looking for something to change us or move us out from a space of bondage into a space of freedom. We're looking for luck. We're looking to step into our destiny. And I think we can all agree that the last few years with COVID and all of that has really shaken the world up. So that chaos could also, the Kempt could also be that chaotic time. And a lot of people have had quite a dip in finances, work, etc., etc. And so Shy is saying we're really wanting to change that luck. But also usually when Shy comes up, it means your luck is changing. We are getting there. We are moving into a space of freedom, which is a really great place to be. Then our next one, which is about how to implement our decisions. This is a really good combination with Shy. We have got Renenet, and Renenet is about fortune, wealth, plenty, prosperity, all of those wonderful energies that we are wishing for. This is here, it's coming. We need to nourish the body and the spirit. So the way that we need the energy to work here around finance and fortune and wealth is to really let it flow. Now you don't necessarily need to let your money flow. You need to focus on nourishing your body and your spirit and being able to do what you need to do when you need to do it. So perhaps there's a link here with Amsu as we are finding a way to rejuvenate ourselves, find a way to work with our sexual energy. Perhaps it's not even working with sexual energy, but working with that Kundalini life force that we are moving around. And then finally we've got our outcome or our direction, and here we have Sekhmet, and Sekhmet is all about power, protection. She is the goddess of war, but also the goddess of healing and strength and fire and passion. So it's a really magical energy here, magical power. So Sekhmet is our next move on. This is where we're really stepping into our power stream. Now, a lot of people are afraid of this power, and this could be a really good way to also call on Sekhmet, so that you can call on her power, so that she can give you that strength and that protection that is needed. A little bit later on in this trip in Egypt, I will be going to a Sekhmet temple. So if any of you have any specific wishes or things that you want to pass on, let me know, and I can add those into the prayers as I do when I get to the temples. Okay, so on top of our cards we are laying the Wands of Horus cards, and we're going to look at what that is all about now. So on Asar we have the Union card. So with Asar we had this death and resurrection, so this new direction that we're moving in, the letting go of what no longer serves. Union is saying that we are connecting and combining opposites, things that are possibly unrelated to each other, and we're bringing those in together. So this new direction that we're moving in, the letting go, this is all part of this union that we're wanting to do. Happy has the synchronicity card on. This is our old thoughts and patterns. So everything that we had, now this is interesting because happy is basically the union card. So there's that thread from union goes through into happy, which says that synchronicity has always been around to guide us in this work that we've been doing and where you've been going with your journey. Shesmu 42 has the divine feminine in it. Interesting story here with your Shesmu 42 is that you've got 42 gods and goddesses that is judging the person, for your integrity and so. And so with divine feminine on here, it's almost like we're focusing mainly on the feminine gods and goddesses that are guiding. So taking a more of maybe a compassionate approach to your judgment, so that you are bringing your judgment into a softer landing, almost forgiving yourself for being in a judgmental space perhaps. Then on Kempt we have the air card, and the air card is always about clearing and purifying. So we're purifying that chaos and confusion, dissolution, all of those things. We are blowing away and clearing. Sukar has the Shen card on, which is about eternity, and this is also protective energy. Now Sukar, as I've mentioned, is this time of darkness, or this ending, beginning part of a cycle. It's that sort of the seed that's been planted, and Shen is holding that protective space. It's almost like the protective shell that sits around the seed. Amsu, where we've got the sexual pleasure and rejuvenation, was supposed to get an air card as well, but I've only got one air card in my deck, so it was replaced with a Neteneteru. And so usually when there's a repeat happening within a card, I switch over to the Neteneteru, which is that holding space. And so interesting here that we had air on on Kempt as well as on Amsu. And so for the future card, that Neteneteru card says that anything is possible, we can do anything. So this rejuvenation, initiation path that you're going on, path of pleasure and so forth, this is really about how far you would like to take this. Keret has the clearing card, so we're clearing that transmissions and initiations that you had in the past. We're making sure that they are pure and clean, so that it's not old, stagnant, stale stuff or things that are limiting in their approach. Shai has the breath card, and so Shai has that wheel that sits in the background that's got all the air blowing through it as it's spinning, and so for the breath to sit on top of that would bring you back to your breath. Use your breath as a way to manifest and change your direction. Use your breath as a focus for what it is that you want to work with in this life and in this time and in this healing session. Renenet has the cut, or the physical body, and so when we have the physical body on something like Renenet, for example, it almost physicalizes what we are working with here. So the wealth and the plenty, the nourishment, the good fortune, this is embodying that and becoming that, physicalizing that. And on Sekhmet we had the Ka, which is your vital essence. Now the Ka is the active aspect of the yin-yang energies that we see within Egyptian mythologies. So here Sekhmet is taking a more of an active approach to powerfully protect you and to give you the strength and the magical power that you need within this time. Okay, so I am going to just do a quick transmission on this. What I will do is I will probably put a little bit of music in, just as a holding space for you to receive this healing that I'm going to be doing now, this transmission, and I'm going to be transmitting to the cards on the cards. Just to give you an update as to where we are, time is really limited here on this journey here in Egypt, and today was the last day of a ceremony, a 2-day ceremony that we had going, and tomorrow morning early we are leaving for the Sinai Desert. So this healing is a holding space. It's sort of, I'm taking all the energies that I've soaked up so far, and I'm just going to be beaming that in for you. So apologies again for not having a video here for this session. I'm sure along the way I will find the time to have some video, and I will also, as I get to some of the temples, I will do some recordings, I promise. So let's tune into this spread and to all the energies that we have, and I'm just going to give you a few minutes to soak this up. So on your side, just close your eyes and breathe slow and deep, and just allow yourself to receive this activation and attunement.